Here they come. Trying to back down Parker Fox, and Fox tries the charge. It's coming the other way. Parker steps in, takes the harm, and gets the foul. Second shot, no good, and tipped out. Racing behind the defense. White layup blocked from behind by Fox. Rebound, though, is offensive, and the putback good for Osborne. Mitchell picks it up, finds Fox. Now back to Mitchell, back to Fox. Driving the left, lays it in with the two-handed power jam. I don't know who people would prefer to have on their fantasy basketball teams. De'Aaron Fox or Parker Fox? I don't know who people would prefer to have kicking teams to all of their points. Parker Fox or Parker Romo?
I always love that one.
And Parker Fox, at Parker Fox 24 via Twitter. Follow him as 9 to noon does. He is in studio each and every Monday with 9 to noon. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Good morning, PA. Good. Yeah, it's a beautiful sunny day.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Blue skies for today, brother. And P. Fox's team is 2-0. The college basketball team is 2-0. Squeaked one out versus Omaha. So, pretend like you're up on the podium. Cameras are flashing. You got Marcus Fuller over there. You got my man, Randy Jackson or whatever his name is over there. Got Nordo in the back. And then cameras are clicking, and it's like, Paul Allen, 9 to noon Productions. Thank you very much. You guys squeaked one out versus Omaha. Your thoughts?
You want to give me you want me to give the old cliche? We got to work harder as a team. And
would you talk like that in a press conference?
I think
I want you to talk like you are in a press conference, which means yes, it'll be cliche riddled. You're not going to share company secrets, and I just want to hear you do it.
This was one of those ones where it's like you're a 20-point favorite. You see it. Not that we deal with any of that kind of stuff. But,
all right, 3-2.
But you know how it is. You see the lines and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and
what was the total?
I don't know what that was, but
I'm glad you don't.
That's the right answer.
Yeah, I don't focus on any of that. But you see the tweets.
I thought the over
games.
1.5 on Parker Fox assists was ridiculous. But I'm glad you don't know anything about that.
All right, 3-2.
All right, 3-2. Ben, I'm sorry, Mr. Coyle. Everybody else, never will happen again.
Oh man, but no, this is one of those ones where it's like you come in and it's like you're supposed to take care of business and you come out a little flat and you miss some defensive assignments and
like that Vikings team on Thursday night against the LA Rams that you absolutely savaged on my radio show a couple of months.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's funny how that works when it's not your team.
I'll savage myself. I missed a couple of assignments defensively, and you got to be able to own up to those. And Coach came in at halftime, and he gets on me and Dawson, and two of the leaders, two of the guys on the team, and it's like if you're not good enough, then how do you expect everybody else to be good enough? So you got to take some ownership of that, and come bounce back in the second half and have a better half. And fortunately, we were able to do that. We cranked up the energy. The barn was awesome. It wasn't overly packed, but it was really loud in there. We got up and pressed, got a couple steals, a couple dunks, and eventually turned it out. And you never apologize for a win. And, it's still a W in the column. Parker,
you know better than anybody because of how long you've played. I mean, you with all due respect to everybody else on the team, Dawson Garcia and Parker Fox are the two most identifiable players on the team. Dawson may be one of the better teams in the country, with all due respect to you.
No doubt.
Man, when a head coach in a room with all the kids, specifically the younger ones, when he dresses down the identifiable ones or the ones who are the best on the team, well, that has everybody shaking in those sneakers, because it's like, wow, if he's going to say that to Dawson, what's he going to say to me if I mess up? So it puts people a little more on point, right?
1,000%. And Dawson is just classic in his response, where it's, yes, you're right. Shaking your head up and down. It's no like, hey, coach, screw that.
He didn't go Michael Parsons on it and say, I couldn't care less when Mike McCarthy leaves. In fact, I would hope he would leave now. Something like that.
Not the kind of guy Dawson is at all.
Jeez.
Dawson owns it, comes out in the second half and dominates. I think he puts up 29 points or something ridiculous like that. He's one of the best players in the country. Not only what he does physically, but what he's capable of mentally. And fortunately, we were able to bounce back and put a W in the column.
Yeah, you did bounce back. Let me ask you a super stupid question. The tide turns last night. You get out with a win over Omaha. Which is more fun to you from that little highlight package that I played? If you send via block, if you send that ball into the third row at the barn and somebody in the striped overalls catches it, or the two-handed dunk that we had you unfurl early on in that one? Which one is more enjoyable at this stage of your career?
Striped overall guy
You know what I'm talking about.
standing next to Ronald McDonald guy.
I love playing that
It's
one.
the best. The personality bits among the fans and the students is awesome.
1,000%. And that's my answer for sure. That big block, getting the crowd involved. I think, I've done a lot of them both in my career, but I think there's nothing better than the good old fashioned just chase down, send block into the crowd, look at the crowd, get their reaction, maybe Matumbo finger wag it a little bit, get an 85-year-old dude in the corner giving you one back as well.
You didn't get teed up with the celebration this time, did you?
Yeah, I didn't on that one.
Okay, good.
I'm only got one, but I take that block celebration all day. That's my swag. I love that.
Sweet.
Are you familiar with a Ken Pomeroy?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. College, you're an elite college basketball mind and player.
Yep.
Ken Pomeroy rankings.
Yep.
Well, let me get this straight. You guys were 59th in the country according to super well recognized POM rankings.
Yeah.
And then you beat Oral Roberts. You go to 51. At last check, 64 teams get into the NCAA tournament, right? Or is this more now?
Yeah, it's 64. Yeah, it's still the 64. Yep.
Yeah, forget the play-ins and all that.
Exactly.
So 64. So you start at 59 and move to 51. Mm-hmm. Yeah, moving on up. Then you beat Omaha to go undefeated. And Palm drops you to 68.
Oh my gosh.
What are we doing here, Pomeroy?
They didn't like the close Omaha win, I guess.
Is that what it was? Seriously?
Yeah, there's a lot of those factors that factor into
but 51 to 68?
Yeah, 17-point drop.
Well, you got like Pasadena City College leaping you when you drop 17. Like, that's crazy.
Is that where you went?
It's like Dixie College or something in Utah.
Oh, Dixie State. Now Utah Tech.
Is it really?
Yeah, they rebranded,
so
changed
the
the
Dixie
name.
that used to be the powerhouse JUCO, bro, that JUCO was, I mean, like they had transfer portal and I swear NIL 25 years ago.
St. George, Utah, baby.
Yes.
Yeah, Utah Tech now.
Right.
Yeah, rebranded.
All right, so number 73, North Texas is next.
Yeah.
When's that game?
Yeah, that game's Wednesday night game.
Okay.
So we got 2-day prep starting today. Obviously Monday today. So we'll go, individual player personnel stuff today, and then we'll go over all the team stuff tomorrow. Finalize that together and come out and play a really good North Texas team, a team that's played in some postseason play the past couple of years. I think they won the NIT 2 years ago.
Wow.
But they like to muddy it up. They like to bare knuckle it up. They're a really physical team. So it's gonna be an absolute battle. And we'll have our big man Frank Mitchell back. He was injured past couple of games with a little dislocated shoulder. So we got a lot of really good pieces coming together, and hopefully we're prepared and ready to roll.
Pomeroy, probably like the Associated Press and everybody else, has Auburn as the number one ranked team in the country. Did you hear about their team playing?
Yeah.
Having to return shortly after taking off.
45 minutes up in the air, and then there's some sort of dispute or fight.
There was a fight between two players that the pilot's like, googly goo. He just turned the plane around and came back and went to wrist slapping. And I mean, it was two players on the same team. They're a really good team. And with all due respect, what percent chance of...
What are we doing here?
Well, why do you think it happened? Any idea?
Probably a female.
Probably some. I was like, dog, I just saw your phone, man. I saw the name that popped up.
Yeah.
What do you mean, man? Then,
I always love that one.
It's. I was just stunned when I read that it was a civil war on an airplane.
Exactly.
And the plane had to turn around because two teammates were fighting.
And then they fly back and they go beat Houston, who's notorious, one of the best defensive teams in the land. And this is not a team that you don't fool around and go just beat Houston.
Yes.
So obviously Auburn's got a lot of talent. Something worked.
Have you been to the exclusive, super special, athletes only cafeteria yet today?
That's where I'll head right after this. I'm straight shot right there.
To the exclusive?
Yeah, right there.
Have you ever met Gophers hockey forward Oliver Moore?
Yeah, we actually trained together for the past couple summers.
You know Ollie?
Yeah, I know Ollie pretty well. Up in Centerville, Minnesota at Royalty Sports Performance. We train up there, so it's a place where he's got a lot of hockey players, and Ollie's one of the guys. And great dude, works his tail off, and then I'm a Gopher hockey, enthusiast, and watching that kid skate around the rink is incredible. His speed is.
They swept Bucky, right?
They swept Bucky, yeah. That little 3-2 overtime win in game 2. I don't know if you saw the play or not.
So Taylor's forcing you to watch. Excuse me. So you're watching these games.
I love Gopher hockey, man. I love it. I love the rivalry, especially like a Gopher Wisconsin rivalry, and seeing how that one ended with a tipped puck out of midair.
Oh wow, the greasy goal.
Oh yeah, the greasy goal, and then going and celebrating right in front of Bucky student section. Just awesome stuff. So and Oliver is obviously a credible talent on the team. His speed is next level, and Blackhawks draft pick if I'm not wrong.
First round pick. They went Connor Bedard.
Yeah.
Do you know who he is?
Yeah, I know Bedard.
You heard of Wayne Gretzky?
I heard of the next coming, right?
Well, I don't know about that, but Connor Bedard, he was their first pick. Followed up in the first round with Totino Grace's Ollie Moore.
Ollie Moore, baby.
So Oliver, okay, because I had him on the radio show last week, and I didn't, he didn't exactly lay it out for me that you guys knew each other.
Yeah.
I left it thinking Oliver wants to become your friend. and then when I started talking to him about, Parker, it's unbelievable. Parker's lot in life, gets to practice, work out, rehab, play games.
Said I got it pretty good, huh?
Doesn't have to, no schoolwork.
I always love that.
Ollie's like, what? That's unbelievable.
I want a piece of that, huh?
Yes. And then he said there were a couple players on the Gophers hockey team who were grandfathered into the Calvin Booth, Evan Eschmeyer 9-year plan to be able to play Division I basketball. All right, so Ollie. And he's marveling at your schedule. And him being a first-round pick of the Chicago Blackhawks, man, that's a good guy to know, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, and he's obviously ultra-talented. I love going to games at Mariucci. I don't know how many times you've been down there, but just an incredible atmosphere for college hockey, especially when you got, the likes of Michigan or Wisconsin or Ohio State or somebody like that.
And it's gotten kind of robust, right? Because I remember there was a patch there that you would see people of the snarky variety would put pictures on social media. It's like a big game against somebody in the Big Ten, say Penn State.
Yeah.
Like crickets. It's like 1,000 people there.
Yeah.
And, see, how old are you, 24?
25.
Yeah, 25. So, therefore, you're too young, I would imagine, to be honestly, authentically all wound up in your heart about, I missed the WCHA.
I do a little bit though.
Do you?
I still
okay.
have. So my dad and I had we would go to. My dad, my brother, and me would go to all Gopher hockey games. So the Tony Lucia era of the WCHA and the Rileys and that group back then. And I was a big Kyle Pozo fan. That's my I always had the poster of him up in the room, and then I would do the skating with the Gophers after a Saturday night WCHA game.
You got on skates?
I got on skates. Yeah.
So Taylor made you get. Excuse me. So you actually got on skates and enjoyed it after a game?
I loved it, man. I loved it. I grew up wanting to play hockey a little bit. My dad would always have the saying, hockey bad, basketball good, knowing that I would be 6'8", 220 pounds. So probably made the right decision there. But no, loved Gopher hockey, loved the old WCHA. Those rivalries were awesome. And, gotta love the Big Ten now that you're playing.
Are you familiar with a former Bruins and Anaheimers defenseman, Chris Pronger?
Yeah, Pronger. Yeah.
Okay.
He's on my NHL All Hockey Ultimate team.
Right.
On the PlayStation.
I don't know how tall he is. Feels like 6'6".
He's a big boy.
With the long stick.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
Poke checks all day long.
Right.
Yeah.
If mom or dad had gone like hockey good, basketball bad, or basketball lukewarm, because we got a big boy here.
Yeah.
You could have been Pronger named Parker.
I tell Taylor that all the time, and we'll go out and she'll do some stick handling moves around me. So I'll just be in the center of the dot or whatever and trying to poke check it. I'll get a couple here or there and just start talking my crap a little bit. So
I'm not trying to be weird here or anything, but like Taylor's forearms. Okay, are they
strong?
Okay, so you see what I'm saying here? Because like I've never gone up to Zumwinkle or Taylor Heisey or somebody and said, "Hey, can I see your forearms?"
Nice forearm.
But all my hockey friends, Brian Aragoni, who played, I believe, at Hill Murray, one of my best friends. He played years ago. Jordan Leopold, you look at their because you said, stick handling, or doing the
wrist shot,
yes,
exactly.
Puck battles in the corner. The forearms of hockey players who have dedicated their lives to it, Well, they seriously look like legs.
Oh, it's
That's how
insane.
strong they are.
Yeah, they're massive, and not only that, the one arm is usually bigger than the other one, the lower arm that snaps the wrist shot.
Right.
So, I mean, you got to have pretty good strength to whip those things, 70, 80, 90 miles an hour towards a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But yeah, those hockey players, they're built different. The legs on them too, those quads and hamstrings are like, whew.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So let me guess, another Vikings win you hated.
Dang right. Never was nervous though.
Okay.
Never was nervous.
We may have to come to a surrogate pact here where when your team, deeply
Yes.
rooted in your heart,
1,000% loves
plays an ugly game and beats an overmatched team in grimy fashion, and the Minnesota Vikings do the same thing, you can't take your angst on your missed defensive assignments or how your team played. You can't take it out on the team with whom I work and the team that I love.
You're right.
Because you take on social media, where you're part of the new kid generation. You're going to take it out on social media. It's like worst game I've ever seen. Got a W. Put some emoji in. Kick the announcer in the nuts and call it a day.
I thought the announcer did a great job. The announcer
Forget the announcer. I'm talking about the team.
Well, the team didn't do a great job. We did.
Well, really? Okay, so you didn't do a great job against Omaha. You know what? You got the dub.
You got to own it, right?
Well, you got the dub.
You got the dub.
What matters most?
Oh, a win is all that matters. Never apologize for winning.
Ben, so here comes the next thing you say in the meeting. Coach, Ben, I'm probably older than you, so listen to me. You can go ahead and harp on every single thing that's negative you want to look at here. We got to the winner circle, Coach.
Did.
So let's smell the roses for 5 seconds.
Yeah, no
He'll
doubt.
snap his head at you and be like, don't you ever talk to me like that again, you snot-nosed kid.
I don't appreciate just how is he calling me a kid? I thought I was older than him.
Have we figured out the long play with Dawson's hair? Okay, 3-2. Did you see the Lions game last night?
I did.
Wow.
I flipped a little back and forth. I was watching a little Wolves to start. Then I was watching a little Lions. Then I watched a little Lakers versus Raptors. But yeah, what an incredible comeback.
All right. Yeah, you got to help me here with something. Grady Dick for Toronto. I knew he played at Kansas.
Yes.
The other guy, Obi Koji, what's his name?
Yeah. Abachi.
Yeah.
Ochai Abachi.
Yeah. So
Kansas as well.
Member of the Vikings media relations staff, John Ekstrom. Well, that's his favorite team of all teams ever to have as a favorite team.
Okay.
So we're chatting. It was right as the Friday practice was ending, and Darren Doogie Wolfson, it's the Lions, and I were talking about some players in the NBA who went to Kansas, and the guy on the Raptors, I guess I've obviously seen him play because he's played in big games for KU.
Yeah.
But the name didn't resonate with me like Mario Chalmers. And that guy's a baller.
Ochai Abachi.
Holy cow.
Oh, yeah.
I watched some of that last night, too. I was like, damn, he's good.
Yeah, I went to the Wolves-Raptors game at Target Center. It's actually where I met Henry Lake, and he was actually with Ochai Abachi's dad. And so I got to meet him and meet Ochai. And, yeah, I mean, he's built like it.
Yes.
He's talented. He defends at a really high level.
Right.
The Raptors, not the deepest team in the world, but a team that he's able to kind of go out there and show his personality on the court. So, yeah, he's talented.
KU is, if they haven't passed Kentucky, they're catching Kentucky for there's so many players from Kentucky in the NBA where I'm like, what? Bam Adebayo played at Kentucky?
Yeah.
Of course, Devin Booker.
Yeah, Anthony Davis.
Boom.
Yeah.
Cat.
De'Aaron Fox.
Right, but like KU, some of the new schoolers may forget that Joel Embiid played there. Just think about Parker Fox in a big spot NCAA tournament game, and your assignment is Joel Embiid. You checked Zach Edey, and he's a handful.
Yeah.
Zach Edey, by the way, did you see that somebody wanted to fight with him the other night?
Yeah, Jonas Valanciunas and him kind of got into it a little bit.
And Valanciunas is one tough Euro.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted nothing. Did you see that glare Zach Edey gave him?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Just in a glare, it was like, Jonas, it can be now, it can be in the tunnel, or it can be by the buses.
Yeah.
It's your choice.
Yeah, he's kind of had that
Wow, I didn't realize he
personality,
was that
persona
tough.
about him. Just playing him, played him 3 times, I think, 4 times. And he kind of had that I'm not going to take crap from no one. I'm a
You
tough
touted
dude
him
myself.
hard, man. And I'm not an elite college basketball mind, and you are, but I had watched enough of him to be like, all right, he clumps, and I'd be worried about playing him too much, and he's still relatively young, and with that size, you might deal with some tendonitis or something like that, and he's in and out. And then how much is he going to hamstring Morant? Who finally is hurt again. He's hurt every minute of the year. And they want to go up and down with racehorse basketball.
Yeah.
I couldn't have been more wrong. When he, like Friday night, that last highlight I watched, it was against Valanciunas, Washington, right?
Yep.
Where he blocks a shot and then triggers the break, trails the break, gets the ball 26 away, Caitlin Clark zone, and nails it.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I'm like, damn, P. Fox knows exactly what he's talking about with this kid.
Yeah, unbelievable. And it's something he didn't do in college. And,
Really?
And, he would expand his game and catch on the perimeter and maybe go into like a dribble handoff, which we call a DHO or a pass foul kind of stuff. But now he's expanded his game to catch and shoot. And that kind of shows you what the NBA is. Like, you have to be able to do that. Even when you're 7'4", 7'5", whatever he is, like, you have to be able to catch and shoot outside shots. And credit to him, he's worked on his game, and obviously it's flourishing in Memphis.
With Parker Fox at Parker Fox 24 via the tweet machine, plays for the Gophers, a basketball team. North Texas next on the docket. Gophersports.com for tickets. Gophersports.com to learn more about that program and to support it, and go watch some high-end college basketball. Gophersports.com. I was flying back from Jacksonville following the Wolves game on the Disease Gamecast, which is virtually impossible. I mean, it's just like the ellipses, the dots come in, and it's like, okay, here comes a play. Oh, cool, turnover us. So with your trained eye, I don't know if you saw the end of the game or a majority of the game. We didn't score the way we normally score, but Spoelstra has a way of sucking you into games like that. Yeah. Just really good at that. What did you think of the contest?
Well, yeah, that's what it is right there. Credit to Spoelstra, because this is a game, a Sunday night game. Jimmy Butler's not playing. Miami could just mail it in and say, okay, we're playing at Minnesota, a team that's more talented than us, especially without Jimmy Butler in the roster. Let's mail it in. Let's let them win 140 to 112, whatever that may be. That was opposite of the case. Miami's energy defensively, they were going in and out of zones. You don't really see a whole lot of zones in the NBA,
right?
But Eric Spoelstra was sending 2-3 zones. They were picking up full court. I think it's Highsmith or Highwater. One of their
Haywood Highsmith.
Yeah, he was picking up full court. The whole game.
Yeah, he's a big guy, isn't he?
Oh yeah, I don't know height and weight on him, but
he's power forward.
Yeah,
guy.
he's a big body. I think. I think he was one of the guys just defensively that was really disrupting. Yeah, 6'5", 220.
Adebayo blocking shots like P. Fox.
Exactly. And this is a team where, they have to play that way because that's the energy that Eric Spoelstra's created for this team. And you see it the last possession of the game. They have a side out inbounds play, and Spoelstra draws up this kind of, I don't know how you would even describe it. Oftentimes when you have an inbounds play, you got guys closer to the hoop. Guys are staggered all over the court, and they run a wheeling kind of back screen, and the Timberwolves don't communicate if they want to switch or not. They decide to switch. Jokic drives and gets open, or Jovic, and finishes an and one layup over, I think, Nickeil Alexander-Walker for an and one that seals the game there. But you just talk about, a guy and a coach like Eric Spoelstra that really wants to draw things up. And I think that's the level that Chris Finch wants to get to as well. And I think he's getting there. But Spoelstra is one of the best in the league. He's incredible X's and O's.
My brother, tear it up against North Texas.
Will do.
Get your body right. And can't wait to see you next week, all right?
Do it. Appreciate it, PA.
Parker Fox plays for the Gophers basketball team, joins 9 to noon weekly. A wonderful, wonderful addition this year, going full-time with it, Mondays at 11 o'clock. And he's at Parker Fox 24 via Twitter. We're going to replay the live montage and the locker room drive-bys around the corner if you happen to miss it. But first, Nordo has this.
Yeah, the Fan, along with two men in a junk truck, they want to give you a chance to put $1,000 in your hand with the National Cash Contest. So go to KFAN.com, enter the keyword check. The keyword is check, and you might win $1,000 at KFAN.com.
Indeed, a couple of interceptions and a fumble recovery by Harrison Phillips. The Vikings were -3 in the take-give. With 6.5 minutes to go in the game, they flipped that thing around and got a push out of it, and got a 5-point victory in grimy fashion against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yours truly whipped out a microphone in the locker room after the game and saw Byron Murphy Jr. I mean, he has interceptions in 3 consecutive games. Nobody was talking to him, so I walked up, put the mic in front of him, and I said, picks in 3 consecutive games, and wow, today was weird.
It definitely was a little weird game today. Obviously, but on the defensive side of the ball, I felt like like we really definitely showed who we were as a defense. Got into some situation, we had to go back on the field, got to stop. So it just showed, the defense is really. Hey, watch out! That's Holly. But this showed that the defense was really locked in today, and we're getting back to the details. Of everyone just sticking and doing their jobs.
And when you say we showed really who this defense is, like who is this defense?
Man, just a whole bunch of dogs making plays. I would say we really don't know who's going to make a play, but we always know. Coach Flo puts us in great position to make plays. So whoever makes that play, we know it's coming. So, like I said before, just defense is we do a hell of a job, and everyone really makes plays. Everyone eats. Blake Cashman, how great was it having Blake back? Great feeling. Obviously, one of the leaders in our room. Communication, backer. He always communicating to us. Obviously, he's a playmaker. And to have someone out there like that, just to be a dog with you, just feels good and feels better.
I'm not going to, ask you to think back of all the times of possession games that you've played in all the way back to Arizona. But 42 minutes possession for the Vikings, that keeps you guys nothing but rested. Really helped at the end, didn't it?
It definitely felt like I was sitting on the bench for a long time. Our offense did a great job keeping the ball. And like I said, we just knew like any situation that happened, we chilled for a little bit. Offense was running the ball, getting down the field. We just had to go in and get a stop no matter the situation. And like I said before, defense really stood up, and we showed what we were about today.
Last one. When you learn Mac Jones is going to be the quarterback, now Trevor Lawrence, Byron Murphy Jr.'s pick 6 in his career came from the arm of Trevor Lawrence. I was like all ready for that, and they go with Mac Jones. And, man, you guys really made a tough day for Mac Jones, no doubt about that. Brian Thomas Jr., that rookie, we heard a lot about. He didn't really impact the game. But when you know it's going to be Mac Jones, how much does that change?
It definitely changes. Obviously a quarterback like Trevor, definitely respect to him, a great quarterback. But someone to come in, play all those games, and then Mac Jones just comes in, we got to give him different looks. Obviously, Mac Jones is a great quarterback as well, but when you give him different looks, we felt like we could definitely get some, picks in our hands, which, kind of worked out. Like I said before, we just knew if we had to put him in passing situations that we were going to come out on top.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Byron Murphy Jr., interceptions in 3 consecutive games. I got to roll over here with these drive-bys. Cam.
When it's side by side.
Cam. Hi, Josh. How are you? Congratulations.
KFAN, how you doing?
Pretty good. I don't know how. I know, but I don't know how often, Josh, you do the pregame talk, like in the circle and stuff. Every week? Okay, I had my binoculars on you this week. You got everybody all fired up today, man. Is that the plan?
That's the plan every week. And he's back home in Florida, so he had to turn us up. It had to be a little extra. It had to be, He knew today would be the day for the defense because Josh is turning us up all week. I had to turn us up all week.
Yeah, it was all turned up. Defense was fantastic. And, Cam, I came over here. That catch wasn't easy, man. That was a hard catch that you made. Knee down at the 1, big deal. But that was a hard catch.
Yeah, shout out to Adam, our equipment guy. Every Friday, we do a deep ball drill where he just launches the ball as far as he can. If we can somehow pull up the clips of us at practice doing it somewhere. But that's really just repping it every single week because you never know when you'll be put in that situation to catch a tough ball like that. So I was glad that I was in there to be able to get that. And it's good to get it, and all glory to God.
Hey, Cam, indeed, amen. This could have been a week where if O'Connell had allowed you guys to bring like a magazine or your phones on the sideline, you actually needed something to do because of that time of possession thing, man. 42 and change for the Vikings, 17 and change for the Jaguars. That had to keep you fresh at the end of the game, right?
Yeah, my legs started getting a little tired sitting down for so long. But it was one of those games where just on defense, we just kept our head down. And we knew what type of game it was, especially the opposing defense was playing well. But we went out there and we just enjoyed whatever situation it was, whether it's responding from adversity or just going out there on just a routine series. We knew we had to go out and show up.
Was it a movie? And if so, was it a happy ending to the movie?
Yeah, this is always going to be a movie. And I love being a star of it.
To a movie, Harrison Smith. Hey, Harrison. How about all these kids running around, man? Not only, what I imagine it's probably, I don't want to say reinvigorated, but you're having a fantastic season, man. You got all these youngsters running around on the defense. But, the time of possession thing today, I've talked to Cam Bynum and Byron Murphy Jr. about that, where they're like, I just wanted to get back out there. I just wanted to get back out there. Veterans enjoy the rest, right? It takes some reps off the legs.
Yeah, but at the same time, when you got a group like this who, like you said, you got some youth out there that they want to make their mark. Like, I want to be out there with them, and I'm trying to make my plays too, but I love watching them make plays, man. It's awesome. A great play by Murph, great catch by Cam. Like, that's a hard adjustment there. Big time play in a big time moment.
What do you like about this defense? I mean, we're 9 games into this thing, so we're in the second half of the season, and just overall, the defense just continues to persevere.
Yeah, I think the sentiment of them saying that they want to get back on the field, like, that sounds messed up, right? But when you have that mentality, and you're just like, I don't care what the situation is, I don't care what the score is, I don't care whatever. Like, I want to go play. That's going to go a long way, especially as the season goes on and things kind of narrow. So when you got a group like that, I like playing with that group any day.
Last one, you're a communication guy, and this is in no way to say Ivan Pace Jr. wearing the green dot without Cashman did a poor job. He didn't. But when you have those both there, you get Gink in his spot, everybody's in their spot. How much did that help?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, like, Ivan did a great job when he was doing it, but having Cash out there, just the experience he has, everything he can do on the football field, it just adds another piece. And he's a multiplier guy, so getting everybody back is great.
You're fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks, Pia.
Harrison Smith after Cam Bynum and Byron Murphy Jr. and a 5-point Vikings victory.
We're coming.
9 to noon puts a wrap on the show around the corner. We thank Harrison, Byron, Joshua Metellus, and Byron Murphy Jr. et al. For joining us yesterday. And we thank you very much for listening to 9 to noon, where we will discuss in brief fashion a pressure point around the corner and a preview tomorrow from Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center. Be right back.
From the Fan.
Hey, it's a YA show. Thank you, Alec, a frequent contributor Fridays at the Friday Football Feast, which is at Buffalo Wild Wings Crystal this week. Buffalo Wild Wings Crystal if you're looking to feast. Tomorrow, 9 to noon, courtesy of Soukup and Soukup.com. Also, providers pressure points, or the pressure point today involves Sam Darnold, and we will get much more into it tomorrow. But tomorrow goes a little something like this, and there are asides. Lavelli Neal III, columnist, Star Tribune, sent me a text yesterday saying, make sure somebody has the dump button ready when I'm at the Vikings facility joining you guys at 9:20 because of the way the Bears lost. I'm like, okay. After that, Ben Gessling, the scribe, Star Tribune, StarTribune.com, he had a tweet an hour ago. The Jaguars played split safety coverage on 92.9% of their snaps against the Vikings, the highest rate by any team since at least 2018. So that he'll explain that, but that plays into what I saw this morning where I'm like, I've never seen, I think Justin Jefferson was singled one time the entire game. Gessling tomorrow at 10 o'clock, Kevin O'Connell at 11. Hopefully you from 9 until noon. I'm Paul Allen. Thank you very much for listening to the radio show. Here comes Big Daddy Khan to put a wrap on the show.
Come on!
Oh, good.
You homer! On a day the quarterback is erratic, nice to know the kicker's automatic. Sounded great in FM at least, no static. Sky falling after a win, melodramatic. But hey, honestly, what's up with Sam? Do the fans need to chill, maybe up the milligrams? Now the red zone is just a no-fly zone. Howard from Chicago blowing up my phone. I mean, catch up on the nitrates, forcing it to Jefferson like a mandate. Had Aaron Jones over the middle, race to the pylon. Chargers so mad, got a snag in his nylons. Still a win, that gets you up to 7. You overbetters in the futures, you're in heaven. Up next, the Titans for the division sweep. It's TCO tomorrow, so get a good sleep.
Winnersville sounds better in FM.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.